I had a great conversation yesterday with Noah Waterman. Learned a lot about this young man. There's a connection to Jimmer Fredette in this conversation. There is a connection to why he loves BYU fans. I really, really enjoyed getting to know Noah Waterman. So without further ado, let's get to it. Here's Noah Waterman with myself right here on the Locked On Cougars podcast.
What's the season been like to this point in your mind?
The season's been really good. I feel like this is what we worked for all summer. All the hard work that we put in during the summer and the beginning of the season. It's really just showing now. A lot of people counted us out, and our motto is like we wanted to prove everybody wrong, and so far we've been doing that.
Why was that mentality there? Is it because of some of the failures last year and like people were, like you said, maybe discounting you guys a little bit coming into the year?
Yeah, definitely. So like last year we didn't have that great of a season, losing to like not good teams and stuff. So we just put a lot of work in during the summer, and we knew we were a really good team. I feel like we just had to come together with our chemistry. And as you can see on the court, we really play unselfish and really trust each other. So that's where it really started for us.
What was the biggest thing you worked on in particular?
Me?
Yeah.
I was in the gym a lot. I was working on a little bit of everything with my game. I was just trying to improve a lot because I had a bad season the year before, and I didn't want that to happen again. So coach really emphasized like defense though. So because that's something that you can do every day. You know, even if you're a great shooter, you're gonna have those days where you're not gonna be able to make a shot. Doesn't matter how good you are. You can be Steph Curry. He still has those days. But if you focus on the things that you can do every day consistently, like defense and rebounding, that's something is mostly just effort. So if you work on those things, everything else will roll into place.
We've seen Coach Fennell is kind of taking that defensive coordinator role in a way, and it seems like almost every other possession, you guys can be switching into different defenses. How critical has that been in your guys' success in your mind?
I think it's been super critical. You never want the opposite team to like know what you're doing, and Coach Fennell really like switches it up all the time, and he has all these hand signals. Sometimes he calls it a little late, and we're kind of scrambling to get to it. But we've been practicing this all summer long, like I was saying. Like we were doing scenarios where it's like we had 1 second to get into this defense, see a hand signal, get into it. And I think that really just helps us a lot, just so the opposite team really doesn't know what's ever coming.
Do all five of you have to look over at him, or is there one person that kind of picks up on it and tells you guys what's going on, or does it matter?
So how it works is like once one person sees it,
Okay.
you got to just communicate to everybody else. And if you don't, then Coach Fennell is going to be a little mad at you.
Okay, so it becomes a scramble drill at that point.
Exactly.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, so the first 3 games of Big 12 play in particular, you didn't necessarily have the best outings. You've had some really, really good outings before that non-conference play, but this past game really broke out once again. What keyed that in your mind?
Like I was saying before, like being a shooter, like you're gonna have those games where you just can't hit shots, and I had 2 of those games, and I just try to not get down on myself. I'm here for the team. I want to do everything I can for us to continue winning. So I was just gonna focus on defense and rebounding. I knew being a shooter, like you can't get down on yourself because your shots are gonna fall. Like I'm not worried about that, but those were just 2 little bumps in the road, and last game, saw the ball go in the hoop, and feeling pretty good. So,
how fun has it been to see guys like Trevin and this most recent game Spencer go for these career high numbers?
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. Seeing Spoons went for 28, dude really couldn't miss. It's awesome because we have so many like weapons on the court. I've said this before, but it's like it's so hard to scout us because we have so many guys on the team that will and can drop like 25. So it's hard to scout a team where we play so unselfish and we play to wherever the ball goes, like, and whoever's open, they're gonna shoot. So like Spence, the ball was finding him a lot, and he had a great game. That happens a lot with Trevin, Richie, everybody on our team really. So it's really cool to play this way.
You guys are headed to Texas Tech on Saturday. Now this is a run. So I read this. So the last time BYU played 3 ranked opponents in a row was 1981 when Danny Ainge was here as a player. It's been a hot minute since this has happened. How big is this for you guys to play this caliber of opposition?
I mean, I think it's really cool. I think it's really big for BYU as an organization to be playing all these ranked teams. Yeah. And in these next years, like this is how it's gonna be day in and day out. Like we're in the Big 12, best basketball conference in the country. So it's really, really awesome for me to like play in these games. But I think we just got to prepare like we always do. There's no difference. Because after this game, we're going to play another ranked team and another ranked team. Mm-hmm. So it's like you just got to prepare the same way and go out and play like we know we can, and it'll be a great game.
Was this what you were looking forward to when you transferred to BYU?
No, yeah, definitely. 100%.
Why so? Did you get the chance to play at the highest level of college basketball? What was the reason?
Yeah, part of that, like playing at the best basketball conference in the world is really intriguing. Yeah. And playing in these venues with all these fans and stuff. I came from a mid-major college. We'd have about 100 people in the stands. Okay. So going into these great games and coming here with the coaching staff, that was like a really big part of it. Like we have the best coaching staff in the country as well. The Coach Poe, Fennell, all these guys, like they really care for you as a human being and a basketball player. And they want to develop you in all aspects of life, not just a basketball player. So that's another reason.
What's like playing at the Marriott Center, and like you mentioned, you had 100 fans with Detroit Mercy, right?
Yeah.
So what's the biggest thing you like about having 14, 15, 18,000 people here?
It's awesome. Well, it's really dope because the energy that it like brings you. Yeah. Like even if you're, especially in the Marriott Center, like it's hard for us to lose in the Marriott Center just because we have the best fans in the country, 100%. Okay. But, like, if you go on a little run where they score a bunch, they're up 5, they just start giving you the energy. And, like, no matter how tired you are, with that energy in the building, like, you don't feel tired anymore. And you can really make a little run and step up and be able to finish the game.
Has it been fun? Like, you've been to Baylor and UCF so far in conference play. They've got some pretty crazy crowds in their own right. Is that fun as well to know that even when you go on the road, there's still pretty crazy crowds?
Yeah, no, I love the energy. I love playing away games just because everybody's kind of on you and they're kind of hating on you because you're the opposite team. But I love that energy. I love our fans, but also going and people are like, you're not good and stuff like that. Like that really just drives me, and it's just fun to play in.
Well, the next one is Texas Tech, and I wanted to ask you, what do you see from Tech on film? What do you know about them?
Texas Tech is a really good team. They're ranked, 25th?
25, yeah.
Yeah, they just had a tough loss just the other night. But they're still a really good team. They got some really good guards, some really strong bigs that we're going to have to keep off the glass. But if we do that, win the rebounding game and defensive battle, like, we should pull out the win.
Keys to every game, it feels like, are those two things. You got to win those two, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
Last thing for me is I wanted to talk to you about your time here at BYU. It's kind of a unique institution, obviously, out there, but how's it been adapting to the culture here in Provo and the school?
Yeah, so my first year it was a little weird, just coming from New York, coming to Provo.
Sure.
2 different worlds, and I was at Detroit before this, so yeah definitely 3 different worlds coming here. But I've really adjusted, really love the fans, and I'm really here just class, the gym, and my house, and the Marriott Center to play games. But it's been really cool. All the fans and everybody has really embraced all the transfers, and Ali, me, Jackson. So it's been really nice. I really like my time here.
If I'm not mistaken, you're kind of from the same general area that Jimmer Fredette was from up there in upstate New York. Did you know about Jimmer and the exploits here at BYU before you came here?
So I knew Jimmer came to BYU. I didn't know too much about BYU until I came on my visit and stuff. But I knew Jimmer came here, and like upstate, like I've told somebody this before, but it's like when you're playing pickup and somebody shoots a 3, they call it a Jimmer because it's like, especially when I was younger, that happened a lot. Yeah. They'd be like, he's got a Jimmer. And when I was young, I didn't really know basketball. I didn't play till the 8th grade, so I'm like, what is a Jimmer? And then once I educated myself, I'm like, okay, Jimmer Fredette, like one of the best college basketball players ever. So
you didn't hoop until 8th grade?
No, I did not hoop.
What did young Noah Waterman do instead? Like, what were your interests before basketball?
I played music.
Okay.
Yeah, my whole family plays a lot of music. So
like, what instrument? Like, are you like sing? Like, what do you do?
No, I'm not a great singer. Okay. People say I can sing a little bit, but that's not my thing. I play the guitar, the drums, the bass. Just a bunch of little things that I grew up playing.
What led you to hoops then?
My brother.
Okay.
My older brother, he found basketball and he loved it, fell in love with it. I see how much fun he's having. We had a little basketball hoop on the road.
Okay.
And he'd be out there for hours just working out. And then I was like, wow, he's having so much fun. I want to do it.
Okay.
So then we just started working out, and he really trained me my whole life. And yeah.
Well, it almost sounds like the Jimmer Fredette story, because his older brother trained him as well. So
yeah,
kind of funny how the two worlds almost collide in a way. But Noah, I want to thank you for the time. I guess the last thing I'll leave you on this is, what is your favorite part about BYU so far that you've experienced?
Favorite part, basketball-wise?
Or anything, school, food, whatever it might be.
The Cougar tails. No,
okay. Hey, that's not a bad thing.
No, I'm going to say the fans, 100% the fans, without a doubt.
Okay, very cool. Well, Noah, thanks for the time.
Hey, thank you.
There you go, Noah Waterman, BYU forward, and it really impressed to hear his story. This is a guy who played music all grew up till 8th grade, and now is this baller who is doing his thing on the court for BYU. You heard him talk about it. It took him some time to adapt to the culture at BYU, but you can tell he's absolutely in love with BYU fans and very effusive in his praise of what Mark Pope and the staff have done for him and his teammates here in Big 12 play. He came to BYU to play this level of competition in a big showdown against Texas Tech. There's no mincing words about that. I have a goal here, if I can find some time on Friday, do a little mini podcast with a little bit more in-depth look at Texas Tech and BYU to make up for the lack of a show on Thursday. So if I'm able to grind that out, I'll get that out to you guys in due time. But big thank you once again to Noah Waterman. Really, really enjoyed getting to know him. Crazy to think his brother was training him, and it's the TJ and Jimmer Fredette story all over again. And back up there, he's from the Five Lakes area, which is near Susquehanna, and some of you who are members of the LDS faith will know what I'm talking about. That area where a lot of what Joseph Smith's early years were spent around. So he's from that area, and they call it a Jimmer. So Jimmer is still doing his thing, folks, all these years later, and he's still having an impact. So crazy, crazy stuff, but a big thank you all the same to Noah Waterman, and looking forward to this matchup. BYU and Texas Tech tomorrow, 4 o'clock Mountain Time. Looking forward to it. Fran Fraschilla on the call, Mr. Big 12 basketball himself on ESPN2. Check out that game. We'll do a postcast edition as soon as that game goes final or shortly after is the goal to let you guys know some of my immediate thoughts. And obviously we'll be back next week talking all things BYU football. We got a lot to cover.